Morning, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earth Watch on Saturday, December 2nd, 2023 on our planet. Hope you're all well. So, folks, this is a follow-up report on the Philippines, a series of earthquakes. I'm going to call this video, this is a test. It's only a test. And it's a test to gauge how our planet is responding to our weakening protective magnetic field. And how our planet and its inhabitants are going to be responding, such as we have, as you have been reporting to me, and such as one example, the recent earthquake in the Philippines following the CME impact into that region. Now, people, when I do my videos, I do not rush to try and be the first person there on YouTube to post information for maximum viewership. I let everybody else do that. I need to step back and evaluate all information, all data as it's coming in. And usually I'll wait about a half hour, because you can't be pinpoint focused on the singular event. You got to step back and you have to take a look at the overall picture to understand what's going on. So I'll wait about 30 minutes as I do my own evaluation, to include searching out live webcam feeds. This is something that no one else does. So I like to look for accurate, real-time information if I can find it. And then later I'll do a follow-up discussion video such as this one right now. Talk about what's been happening. So, an earthquake was expected, not predicted. It was expected in this region because of the dayside impact of that coronal mass ejection, which hit that region 24 hours ago or so. And therefore, an event was expected. So remember in my Facebook posting, I posted the day side part of the planet that would receive the CME impact, but I had to adjust for it because that CME was delayed. So that was adjusted, and the Philippines was almost smack dab right in the middle. So an event was expected. And bingo. This was as a result of that space weather impact, that CME impact into the planet. Remember, I keep on saying, anywhere from 8 to 72 hours after impact, after absorption of the cosmic rays through the Earth's crusts, we expect to see an earthquake and or volcanic eruptions. So once again, cosmic rays, when they enter the Earth's atmosphere, a secondary change takes place when they react with the atmospheric atoms. They create what's called the secondary showering particles of muons. And as per a Japanese study, these muons can penetrate the Earth's crusts and cause what's called bubble nucleation of silica-rich magma. It heats up the magma. It heats up the outer core. It causes that magma to rise and ascend in its pressure. So try and imagine a can of thick Canadian pea soup. This is the magma. This is the magma way below your feet. You put it in a pot and you put it on the stove. You gradually increase the heat, such as the cosmic rays cause. And that can of pea soup in the pot is going to bubble over. It's going to rise up. So we have our mantle plumes, which are anchored to the outer core of the planet where our magnetic field is generated from. And any changes are going to be represented up through the mantle plumes to the mantle plume head to the underside of the lithosphere in which we walk upon. These mantle plume heads can spread to thousands of kilometers in diameter. One more thing. We have something called the transition zone within the mantle, and that is between 410 and 660 kilometers deep, where deep earthquakes commonly occur. So let's just say the mantle transition zone is right about there. All right. But we can also get the rising heat, the rising harder magma up through the mantle plumes. Mantle plume can have branches, arms, nodes, pushing up underneath Earth's crust. Cosmic rays penetration, absorption through the crust, down through the mantle plumes. Pressure, rising magma, boom, earthquakes. Therefore, following that CME impact, an event was expected. Now again, you need to take your time and do your evaluation. A lot of people out there are not seeing it, and they are not reporting accurately. Following the epicenter earthquakes, there have been a series of deep earthquakes down to about 229 kilometers deep, far away from the epicenters. What could that be? This suggests to me that this is a mantle plume event. Now let's talk about the tsunami, boys. You gotta take your time going through the data, people. The tsunami wave is not 10 feet. The maximum height is 1.86 meters, which is exactly 6 feet. I understand the tsunami threat for Japan was canceled. Yes, you have to issue these advisories. Yes, of course you do. And as someone else said, oh, the tsunami's not going to hit the Philippines until midnight tonight. Bullshit. The earthquake was right on the subduction zone, just a few miles off coast. So this is a test, folks. It's only a test. It is going to get a lot worse. Who says so? Well, who do you think? Okay, his playlists. Matthew 24, Luke 21, all the rest of the boys. I find them highly more credible. So as our protective magnetosphere continues the weekend, we are going to experience more and more of these earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and the effects on the human brain. And animals. We can interpret some of this, right? As we learn. The animals, our pets, they don't know. They don't know. Are the dogs in your neighborhood doing a lot more barking? So very briefly, let's just talk about the 3 different types of solar events that can happen on our sun. 1, solar flares. Mostly, not always, but mostly associated with CMEs, coronal mass ejection, hurled into space. 2nd, filament eruption. A filament is like a filament of the gas. It flips out. It flips out and hurls CMEs. That was the source of the first CME impact, minor 2 filament eruptions. Then the following CME from the M9.9 flare. That M9.9 flare was a sudden, quick impact. 3rd, as per my last post, coronal hole openings. Coronal hole openings, which releases the solar winds, which contain the highly charged particles. The next one will be between December 4th and the 5th. This will cause, at minimum, the G2 moderate geomagnetic storms, and it will be sustained absorption of the highly charged particles through the Earth's crust. So about space weather impacts. So a long duration solar flare will have more of an impact than a shorter, larger burst. So you can have an upper level M-class flare, a short duration CME, but a long duration, let's just say upper level C or lower level M, a long duration event will have more of an impact because it's a long duration of the solar particles coming in, hitting us. So we shall see when we get the enhanced solar winds from this coronal hole opening. And no, at this time, I don't know which side of the Earth it's going to hit. Patience. So I'm going to get into a habit of posting that day sun facing side versus the night side map. The back side also gets hit, okay? But the frontal hit, the frontal Earth side facing absorbs most of the impact. Therefore, it can be a predictive tool. Yeah, so I'm going to watch the tsunami boys closely. Remember, as I keep on saying, it does not necessarily have to be a tsunami wave that sets off a buoy. These buoys are anchored to the ocean floor. If there's going to be motion on the ocean floor, that will also set off the buoys. So I will search out some live webcam feeds. Now, unfortunately, a number of the webcams went offline at the time of the earthquake. So yes, obviously there's been some rattling in the Philippines. And I'm sure you'll see many videos being posted online on YouTube. It's just the beginning of what to expect. You have to try and visualize the mantle plumes below the crust in which we walk. A lot of these solar impacts have been around the Asia region, Australia, Indonesia, Philippines, even the Mediterranean. We really haven't had ours yet for North America. Something to think about, something to prepare for. This concludes this talk for the day on this event. As things change, I will be back later on this evening to do another follow-up update. Again, let's not be so in a rush, hell of a hurry to quickly post. I want to be first. I want to get the maximum views and not tell you people the pertinent, critical information. There's a series of deep earthquakes working around the epicenter up north towards Leyte Gulf, and way south of the epicenter. There's still something happening underneath the Philippines. People, it's not an energy transfer from somewhere else. In a sense, yes, it is an energy transfer. It's an energy transfer from at least here, from the cosmic ray absorption to the mantle transition zone, or all the way down to the outer core. Yes, it is an energy transfer. And people don't seem to understand that, in my observational opinion. That's it for now.